to see. Gonna put some of these just to train.
Lucky you.
Next time with you. Hello, welcome. Welcome, all of you. Welcome from Barcelona. The nicest weather here now. Today we are between 16 and 18, so it's almost spring.
And for us in Denmark, we are probably between 6 and 7 degrees and completely gray skies. So yeah, it sounds great.
We hope to open the trips again and the flights again so we can fly everywhere, because I think we're getting crazy, all of us.
I think that's for sure.
Yes.
I think we are now at 4 o'clock and a little bit past 4, so maybe we should get started. First of all,
Perfect.
thank you very much for joining in. I am Rasmus Marquart and currently Best Danish Sommelier and Best Nordic Sommelier as per 2020 and 2019. And then I am Advanced Sommelier in the Court of Masters, and within these days, hopefully we'll get an email saying I have my master exam end of the year. I'm very happy and privileged that Torelló asked me to be part of the tasting because personally and privately I've been tasting a lot of Torellós every time I've been traveling in Barcelona, which I've been quite, and I think it's a really, really high quality product, and as well some of those that are looking to get things better and better and better. So it's really, really exciting to be here with Toni from Torelló, as well as the winemaker we have here as well, so we can cover all questions that might be coming in. First of all, everybody will be recorded, so if you prefer not to be on a video, you can switch off the camera, but it will be used for Torelló merchandise in the future and to learn from this session we have now. As well, feel free to ask any questions. However, until the questions, please keep the speakers muted, so it can be Toni and me talking without too much interruptions. And yeah, feel free to ask anything. Then we're gonna cover it, either Toni, myself, or any other. Will have the answer to any questions you might have. But I'm very happy to be with Toni today from Torelló. Long history of a family making wines, but Toni, thank you for sharing today with me and then wines.
Mm-hmm. Well, good afternoon, all of you. First of all, thank you for being with us today. Especially thanks, Rasmus, for conducting this presentation. Well, I'm Toni Torelló. I'm the 23rd generation of this estate of Torelló. The name of the estate is Can Martí, that belongs to our family since 1395, so more than 600 years ago. Today, together with my brother and my mother, we manage the winery. But it was in 1951 when my grandfather, Francisco Torelló, he began with the brand Torelló. Before 1951, we were selling our grapes or our wine in bulk for others, and was my grandfather who began with the brand. So we have been producing sparkling wines since more than 70 years ago. We are located 33 kilometers south from Barcelona city, in the heart of the beautiful region of Penedès, very close to the Mediterranean Sea. The meaning of this presentation is to find more distributors in Denmark. Now let me introduce you Mrs. Pia Boder from the company Wine Point. She's representing Torelló in Copenhagen area since days ago, so it's really recently. And later on, we will love to hear from Pia what she thinks about Torelló. No? But first of all, let me put you a video so you can see more about us and our philosophy and who we are. Here, then we go there. Here, and I put it here. There we go. No, espera. We are very close to Barcelona city, only 30 kilometers south, in the one region called Penedès. Our estate, the name is Can Martí Estate, has belonged to our family since 1395, so more than 600 years. The same family, the same house, always dedicated to the viticulture. So my brother and I, we are the 23rd generation of Can Martí Estate. It's an estate of 135 hectares, 85 of them are planted, mainly with the three autochthon varieties, Macabeo, Xarel·lo, and Parellada. But we have in total 11 different varieties because we produce sparkling wine, but also still white, red, and rosé wines. For us, it's very important the harvest. We only produce sparkling and wine from our own harvest. So we take care very much about our vine, about our vineyards. So the manual harvest means that we make a first selection from the vineyard, bunch by bunch. The grapes are very quick transported to the presses because we want all the grapes absolutely fresh arriving to the press. We are into the organic system, so we don't use chemical to fight the diseases. So that's actually very important for us, our environment, our biodiversity. In the old cellar, in the old caves, we keep approximately 2 million bottles in stock. We are specialized in long-aged sparkling wines. So during that period of time, during 2 years minimum and 8-9 years maximum, the wine is in contact with the yeast. So we get special yeasty aromas, yeasty taste, also creamy bubble. So we love this long aging. Also, we are specialized in dry sparkling. So we are not dosage lovers, we are not sugar lovers. So the 70% of our sparkling wines are dry sparklings without any kind of sugar. That way you can feel the soul of our sparkling, and that's very important for us. Okay, here we are again.
So, like, Torelló is a well-known wine in the world, and why were you then? Why is Denmark important for you?
Well, because of several things. No? First of all, I love Denmark. I've been several times in Denmark. It's a country that loves gastronomy. There are many food lovers. Our wines and sparkling wines are very focused on Horeca, in high quality restaurants, Michelin star restaurants, wine shops. Also, we sell a lot in Scandinavia. We have two very good markets today, like Norway and Sweden. Really good markets for us. We won 2 tenders also recently, 3 in Finland, 1 in Sweden. So we are really looking forward to be also in Denmark. Also, in Barcelona, we have many visitors from Denmark. They taste for the very first time the sparkling wines, our Penedès sparkling wines in Barcelona. Barcelona is our hub. So we have a lot of presence in Barcelona, Torelló, in the restaurants. So it's a good way to know for the Danish people our sparklings. No, that's why we love to be in Denmark. Also, Torelló today we have 25 different markets. We export to 25 different countries.
And if we should compare you and anybody else, then how are you making things different than the others of sparkling wine producers in your area?
Well, first of all, because we are a family-owned business, no? For us, our house, our estate is our life. My family has been involved in the wine business since centuries ago. Vineyard and wine is what I have seen ever in my life since I've been a baby. When you born in a family like that, the colors and the flavors and the taste of the harvest is very familiar to you. I have, for instance, 3 children. We teach them all the time that they have to love this estate and vineyards. We teach them that this estate and vineyards belongs to our family since more than 600 years in a row. And we tell them that they have the responsibility to follow this legacy, this tradition. No? So we teach them to love the whole thing.
And when I look at the bottle, I see something that if I looked 5 years ago, I would not see that. There's something called Corbinat on the wines and not Cava Dio, for example. And why is that?
That's right. Corbinat is really new. It's 3 years ago. A group of 6 brands of Cava. We founded Corbinat. First of all, we find that inside the Cava denomination of origin, we wanted to change things inside the Cava denomination of origin, but it was not possible. That's why 2 years ago we decided, together with these other 5 wineries, to leave the Cava denomination of origin. Corbinat is a European collective brand for sparkling wines. It's based on territory and quality. Corbinat means cor is heart in Catalan language. Pinna is Penedès, our region in Latin language, and nat means born. So Corbinat means born in the heart of Penedès. Our main goals was, first of all, is the territory. We are a territory brand. Only wineries from part of the Penedès, can be members of Corbinat. You have to think that Cava today, Cava is produced in 7 different provinces of Spain, very big territory, but Corbinat is only produced in a small part of a small county of 1 province, that is Barcelona, no? When Cava was born 150 years ago. In Corbinat, we believe that today we are 10 brands in Corbinat. We believe that our terroir is unique. No? It's unique because we have our historic and indigenous grapes. It's unique because we have our own soils, and because we have our own climatology. No? So the terroir concept, no? That makes us different. No? Our commitment is very strong with our historic grapes of our region. So it's compulsory for a winery of Corbinat, minimum of 90% of the grapes the indigenous grapes of our region. That means that you can use 10% of international grapes like Chardonnay or Pinot Noir, but minimum of 90% you have to produce. No, for whites, sparkling is Macabeo, Xarel·lo, Parellada, Malvasia. For rosé sparklings is Red Grenache, Monastrell, and Sumoll.
I think there's a little technical. Yeah, you're back. Just need to unmute. Just can see. Just need to. Toni, you are unmuted. You need to unmute yourself, the microphone.
Now?
Perfect. Now
Can
I
you
can
hear
hear you
me?
again. I can hear.
Sorry,
Yes.
sorry. I was telling that all Corbinat members are family-owned business, so that's very important for the sensibility of the wineries. It's not the same that if you belong to a group of wineries that if you own your family winery, no. Also, all members of Corbinat practice organic farming, so we take care of the environment. That is absolutely today compulsory. No, we harvest by hand. We make a first selection on the vineyard. Always searching for the best quality. All of us take care of our own estates, no? So that's for us. A good wine begins in your own vineyard, no? Also, in Corbinat, we are specialized in long-aged sparkling wines, those where you can find the effects from the aging on lees, no, from the long aging on lees. These sparkling wines are rich in flavor and aromas. In Corbinat, the minimum period of aging is 18 months, 1/8. You have to think that in Cava is 9 months, in Champagne is 15 months, in Corbinat is 18 months. Finally, all members of Corbinat, we are audited twice at least by Bureau Veritas International in order to control us. No? So Corbinat has the strictest rules in the world of sparkling wines, and Torelló is proud to be part of that.
And it should always be vintage dated as well, correct?
Pardon me, say again?
It should always be vintage dated, the Corbinat wines.
Yes, I was going to explain that later. Yes, all our bottles has to be vintage. It's compulsory also for Corbinat. Our weather allow us to do that. No, you know better than me that in Champagne normally the 95% of the Champagne is a blend of different vintages because they have they don't have the climatology that we have. So in Spain we can do that. We are in our region. We are Mediterranean weather. So for us, we have a lot of sun. We have a lot of maturity. So we don't have to blend vintages because there's a very good it's very homogeneous, the weather year by year. No, so that allow us to produce vintage sparkling wines.
I think it's time to drink some wine then. For some of us, I hope everybody at least has a glass of something close to you.
Well, I want to first of all to say everybody that when this is going to be open again, we don't know when, but if you visit Barcelona, please, you have to visit us. We are very close from Barcelona. We can pick up you, so you will enjoy for sure, and taste, of course.
So the first one we have in the glasses is a special edition, which for me is a really prime example of a sparkling wine as a heritage, because it's light, it's fresh, there's a lot of greenness to it, like these green apples, as well as you get the notes of the aging with this light buttered bread and really a refreshing style of sparkling wine. with the notes of the aging. And on this one, for me, I think like you can drink it day in, day out, all time of the day, because of the freshness and the lightness to it. But still with a really, really elegant bubbles texture too. And this one is the special edition. And how is the grape combination in this wine?
Well, special edition is our first blend. It's our initial cuvée. For me, it has all what a good sparkling must have. No, it is a blend of the indigenous grapes, Torelló, Macabeo, and Parellada, harvested by hand, of course, from our own vineyards, softly pressed at home, and it has been aged for more than 4 years on lees. 4 years, so it's really full of aromas and taste. It is complex, it is intense. That's it's a good value of Torelló, no? Very, very intense. It's full of aromas. It is a brut. So now it has 3 grams of dosage after disgorging. It's a really few dosage. You have to think that the regulation says that you can go up to 12 grams per liter in a brut. We only add 3 or 4 grams depending on the harvest, because we want this sparkling to be easy drinking. That's why we add these 3 or 4 grams. But it's still a dry sparkling, no? And also, you talk about also the label. The label, what we try to explain is that it's a story. We tell a story that everything begins at home, that then it goes to several monuments of Barcelona. Here we have also another one, the Sagrada Familia. Then this bottle from Barcelona that is our hub, travels around the world in these balloons. I think probably Denmark must to be somewhere around here. So if you see the sky, you will see someday a bottle of Torelló coming. Well, this eye-catching label helped us a lot to export. This is our most exported sparkling wine. Also, we can personalize this bottle for other markets, or for a chain of restaurants, or for a chain of hotels. For instance, I can show you here. This is a special edition, the same one, but for a hotel in Andorra, in the small country of the Pyrenees. This hotel is in front of a ski station, so that's why we had somebody skiing. We also put the face of the hotel here. So it's a storytelling bottle, so we can add here what we want. No? Another example, this one from Norway, it's closer to you. This is for a chain of tapas bar called Delicatessen Tapas Bar. They have now 7 restaurants, 3 or 4 in Oslo. And here we explain also that the same bottle that travels to Norway. Here we put a Viking boat, a jamón, because they love jamón. Well, several monuments of Oslo. So we can do that for cities, for chain of restaurants, for chains of hotels, for different markets. No? As you said, special edition is fantastic for an aperitif. By the glass, it's easy drinking. In between hours, is really a very versatile sparkling wine.
Has a really good minerality as well. Really to keep the freshness of the wine. It's really, really easy, great drinking. Like you really get a great glass for many occasions. While we are drinking, let's move on with the Brut Nature.
Yes.
Which, if we compare, for me, with the special edition, then we have a bit more creaminess to this one. The fruits gets slightly more candied. It's a bit more into the orange fruits, so the mandarins and clementines, and also the skin of them. as well as the white flowers, really balancing off, and then just has this herbsness, like some herbal notes to it as well. The palate comes as well the same. You get more of the bread dough and brioche style on the palate, as well as these candied fruits. But it's really acid driven at the same time. So even though you have less candied fruit, then the balance with the acidity is really lifting it and giving a very good length on it as well in the aftertaste. And with this one, we're drinking 2014. How are you doing with the aging of these Brut Nature?
Okay, so traditional Brut Nature is our iconic sparkling. Is the one that we have been producing since the early 50s. Is the one that we drink at home always because we love really dry sparkling wines. It's also a blend of the traditional grapes, Xarel·lo, Macabeo, Parellada, always, of course, from our vineyards, and has been aged for more than at least 5 years. But normally it's between 5 and 6 years aged on lees. It's a Brut Nature, so no sugar added, absolutely. We don't want to, we are not sugar lovers at home. And we don't want to add any sugar because we love to feel as I explained it on the video, the soul of this sparkling wine. No, it's really intense. It's very long in your mouth. It's creamy bubble. You can feel the yeasty aromas from this long aged sparkling, dry nuts, even hints of honey, so very creamy on your mouth. It's a really for dry sparkling lovers. No, you asked before about the vintage. All our bottles, as I told you before, have the vintage on our labels, and also we always add the disgorging date. I don't know if you can see from here, but we also add the disgorging date on our labels, so the final consumer knows the vintage and knows when it was disgorged and can see the aging period. No? That normally is from 5 to 6 years. Well, Torelló Traditional Brut Nature is our core business. Is the one that knows everybody from Torelló, more in Barcelona or in Spain than abroad, because I told you before that Brut Reserva is our most exported sparkling, but Brut Nature Traditional is also a sparkling wine that we export really easy. No, it's our best seller. It's the one that everybody knows from us. No, absolutely dry, very straight, good acidity, good freshness. So it's what we love here. No.
Then the structure of the wine, I think, as well, is also worth talking about, because I think that's a really good structure to the wine. With this, like as you say as well, the honey and the honey flower, and this candied fruit, but then you have some really crunchiness to it, and the bubbles is really fine and creamy, as you mentioned as well. It's for wine love, a bit more serious wine than the special edition, for example. Like it requires a little bit more for the mouth, even though it's really good. Then it's challenging a little bit more. Whereas for me, the special edition is really easy drinking without being tasteless, if you can say it like that. Of course not. Then the Brut Nature has some more structure to it and a little bit more powerful in a way as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then definitely some of this slightly almond marzipan notes as well coming out. Really tasty. Like, let's put my glasses and
also, we are tasting in standard bottle, but we love big bottles. For instance, this Brut Nature Traditional in Magnum or in Jeroboam is amazing because As you know, big bottles makes the sparkling difference. We also, of this traditional, we have half bottles, so different sizes, same wine, you can feel always the difference, no?
I think we should go to the third and last bottle we're taking today. There'll be the 225, which everybody think about a barrel size from the year 225. And I heard as well, this is also a clue why the name is what it is. It's definitely a much more powerful, and glassware is also changed a little bit from my side, because first time I tasted it in a more narrow glass, and it was too complex and too powerful to be in the glass. So today I'm going a little bit wider on the glass, and really a wine that requires some more air and some more space to dance on. It's a really rich nose with the aging from a cask, and giving this buttery, creamy notes, a little bit of vanilla on the nose as well, together with a really rye bit. And like where the other one we were talking very much of a light red nose, and this one goes a little bit darker, a little bit more into the rye bread style of the nose. And on palate, it's just like, it's creamy, but as you say as well, you really love this really low dosage, and it's really the key point for wine like this, because it is so complex and powerful that with the acidity in it, you need to kind of cut through all the creaminess to balance it off. And I think you're again reaching the acid level to a really deliciousness, and really getting the wine balance through that as well, because this is a serious sparkling wine. This is not a wine that you start a meal with. This going in the middle of a menu, for example, with a bit more powerful and structured fish dishes, and even white meat, it will easily pair with, because it has the power and the body that it has, because it is really full-bodied sparkling wine. And it is, but it's been aged in barrels, correct? And what is that doing to a wine for you?
Well, this one is from the vintage 16, so it's different than the other ones. Special edition was from the vintage 15, Torelló Traditional from the vintage 14. This one is younger, it's from the vintage 16. We produced for the very first time Torelló 225 15 years ago. As you can see, very easy 225 on the label. It's also a blend of the traditional grapes, Xarel·lo Macabeo emparellada. And the difference between this one and the other ones is that the base wine has been aged in 225 liters oak barrels for 3 months approximately before the second fermentation process in bottle. No? As you said, 225 is more complex than the other ones. Of course, you can find smoky notes from the barrel, no? From its French Allier and Limousin barrels. You can find these vanillas also, these spicy notes also. Well, it's very serious wine. Sometimes we decant it because we love to see how it changes once it's decanted. This sparkling every 10 or 15 minutes in your glass is changing, is developing more and more aromas all the time. When you decant it, you lose bubbles, but you win in complexity and development. As I said, we are selling the vintage 16 now, but we also have a special box for sparkling lovers. And we sell 3 different vintages in the same box, 2010, 2012, and 2014. And there you can see and compare how the aging period makes them different, no, in this vertical taste. Also, you can compare different climatologies when you compare different vintages, no. So the difference between this one and the others is important, no. Is a sparkling wine more to eat? It's not an aperitif for me, at least. But depending on the market you go, they drink it as an aperitif. So I think, well, the sommeliers, you know better than me, no? But I think that you have to drink what you like to drink in the moment that you are with the people that you are. But this one is really strong sparkling, so we recommend it to pair it with food. It matches better with food because it's really strong sparkling. No, it's very well considered in the wine guides. This 32.5 in different international contests, and we are really happy because compared to other sparklings of other Corbinat members, is really different than the others because this complexity that give us the barrel is quite different, no?
We've seen
well,
a few.
I told you about before.
No, it's just we've seen a few Brut Nature, and what is that for you?
Well, Brut Nature is no dosage, so it's a Brut Nature without any sugar. So you can feel absolutely the sparkling, the wine, how it is, with no makeup, with nothing. You like it or you don't like it, but the sparkling wine, it was born like that, and we have this gorget like it was born. So no sugar added. Sometimes some people tell us to put some dosage on it to make it more roundable. But we prefer to show how it is when it was born. No?
I think it's really good.
Yes, I think, and now Rasmus, we can hear Pia Boder and Guillermo, our new and recently importers for Copenhagen area since days ago. She has been involved in the wine business for many years. And I would like her to explain why they decide to import Torelló, no? Also, I can see here Anna from Sweden. She's our former importer in Sweden, and she's with us since 5 years ago. And we asked her today to be with us also, no? But now it's time for Pia and Guillermo, please.
Yeah, hello everyone. We are so excited to start up the imports of Torelló's Corbinats. We actually have tried them at Provine several years, and was tempted always, but we doubted a little because we already had a sparkling wine in our assortments. So then the last time we tasted them about 1 month ago, we tasted them with a small panel and compared them to other cavas on the Danish market, and then all our doubts just disappeared. These wines are extremely elegant and tasty, and it just knocked out the others.
Fantastic.
So we tried the qualities we tried were all very different. I mean, one of them was not anything like the other. They're very different in style and expression. Mm-hmm. And I think that's very interesting because you can find a wine for any need you have and for any persons you would like to serve it for. So but for all of them, they have one thing in common in our opinion, and that is the extraordinary relation between price and quality.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
We will have 6 Corbinats in our assortment, and our main focus will be on the restaurant sector. Mm-hmm. And as it is not possible for the restaurants to taste them with you today, We certainly hope that this presentation has convinced any restaurants listening to do so on a later occasion. So we know that this is very difficult times for restaurants just now, and many of them, they are suffering severely. But with the vaccines in sight, at least there is a light in the end of the tunnel. So our plan is to make a small tasting in the center of Copenhagen for the restaurant sector, maybe in small groups in the middle or maybe in the end of March, according to the situation at that moment. And apart from the 3 qualities you have all heard about today, also the other 3 qualities we will have in stock, which is more affordable but still very elegant wine that can be enjoyed alone or with food. A rosé wine and an even more exclusive one, which is a Rosa Torelló Brut Nature 2013. So please let us know, everybody, if you feel like participating in the tasting.
I would like to recommend everybody to do that, because before you taste it, you don't really understand how the quality and like how high the quality and product is. So I can really only recommend everybody to be in that tasting, because it's actually a really exciting winery and product they're having. So like a big recommendation for me to everybody to join in on that, because this is good. This is very good good juice we have, and as Pia also said, it's in a price range that is really attractive to many of the restaurants. Mm-hmm. Do we have any questions around the there's a question saying that the Corbinat was started in 2017, but is that for discoursement rather than the vintage, correct?
Are you talking with me? Sorry.
Yeah, there's a question asking about the Corbinat, that the Corbinat was, no, just in general, that the Corbinat was started in 2017. You finalized, you created it, and the 3 wines we have is from 14, 15, and 16. Mm-hmm. So you can add the Corbinat on discoursement date. Like that's why we can drink Corbinat that is older than 2017. Is that correct?
Yes, well, we start with Corbinat in January, let me think, in January 18. So it's going to be, let me think, January 18, in January 19, in January 19, we left the Dio Cava. So that means that after, in February 19, we cannot label or disgorge as Cava. So we left the Dio Cava. So in February 19, we cannot put more Cava on the label. Now it's always Corbinat.
I hope that was the answer for the question for Kobe. It's because the wine is discoursed after Corbinat was started that you can add Corbinat on the label and are not allowed to add the Cava Dio, for example. I hope that's covering the question.
Exactly. We are not Cava anymore, so we are another sparkling wine from the world.
Yeah. Do we have any other questions around the room to finish off with? Not really have. Pia would like to talk a little bit about Wine Point, which I think we can squeeze in a few minutes with Pia. So yeah.
Yeah, I'll give the word to Guillermo.
Thank you very much. I have some opportunity to say something. Well, you know, Pia has been in the wine business for over 25 years, and that means she has a very good knowledge about wines and prices in Denmark on the Danish market. So based on that knowledge, we created a couple of years ago a Wine Point, and Wine Point is aiming at offering something to every taste and every wallet possibility. but putting special attention to the right price-quality ratio. Our strategy in Denmark is trying to find unique wines coming primarily from smaller family-owned wineries. And the next step is selecting the wines. For doing that, we have a selected high qualified panel made of about 10 persons, producers and consumers. Professionals who are comparing the pre-selected wines with existing products on the market at the same price level. And having all these things in place, so the next step was starting an extensive research in Spain, Argentina, and Chile, but trying to find those wineries that put passion in what they're doing, and most importantly, in ensuring that that passion can be tasted in the glasses you have. And that is what makes the wines we are selecting and offering in Wine Point unique wines. That's it.
Yeah, and that's why Torelló would fit perfectly in.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you, Pia and Guillermo. Well, and thank you again, all of you, to be here. No, it's a challenge for us. It's our first. It's our first experience that way. We hope it's going to be the last, because we hope that everything is going to be open soon. But we will see each other or in Denmark or in Barcelona someday. And thank you for being with us today.
Thank you very much. And I'm really looking forward to go and visit you and get out of the country.
Yes, of course, of course. Thank you again.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Our side. Greetings from
See you
England.
soon. See you soon.